The Catholic Morning Show.
So wonderful to be back here with you, my friends. Glad you can join us on Iowa Catholic Radio, the Catholic Morning Show. Here 16 minutes after the hour. Thank you for being a part of our day. I'm Bo Bonner, Alexia Baker, Brady Grimm, and Aidan Pugh, all making the show go round, and we are happy to be here in the middle of the day. Well, not in the middle of the day, the middle of the week, I should say, the middle of our program. Thank you for making sure to listen to Iowa Catholic Radio. On the second half of the show, we'll get a chance to speak with John Wynn, Director of Social Justice for Catholic Charities and the Diocese of Des Moines. Right now, let's turn to our first guest of the day. You know him well, Executive Director here at Iowa Catholic Radio, Deacon Mark Campbell. Deacon, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you, Bo. It's always good to check in with the listeners every once in a while. We've had a lot going on. The things I've learned over my little over 4 years here with Iowa Catholic Radio. When you're on the air 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, there's always something happening. So I could probably jump on a weekly basis and give an update, but some of those updates would be rather boring.
Well, it sounds to me that 1 year at Iowa Catholic Radio is like dog years, right? So 1 year equals 7.
You know, I think
28 years of service.
I can see where you might have an impression, but I am so grateful to just have the perspective that I have of all the different things that it takes to make a radio network function and operate on a daily basis, and the power that we have been given, right, from God to proclaim His word and to lead people to Christ and His church. You know, it's tremendously exciting work, and I don't get the what they sometimes call the Monday blues on Sunday night. Like I need my weekend to try to reset, but it's exceptionally exciting to be in the position that we are in, to impact so many people, and the response we get from people. And that's one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about this morning was. You know, we've had this Growing the Faith campaign going on for a few years now. We hope to have the first phase of that wrapped up by the end of this year. And thanks to Belle Marasco and Peggy Moffitt, our development team, they've done a tremendous job of going out and telling the Iowa Catholic Radio story, so we can continue to try to grow our network and reach more people with the power of Catholic programming. And so this last Sunday, we were able to gather with a group of folks up in Ames, the Ames area. Some supporters up there who, when we made the switch to 105.5, technically our daytime, and I'll stress that, daytime footprint shrank. Under ideal conditions with AM frequency, you can get a tremendous reach. In fact, when you spoke about Mother Angelica there in the first segment, when she first put EWTN radio on the air, she selected a site for their antenna that was strongly discouraged because of potential interference. But what they found is that signal was able to reach almost all the way around the world, again, under ideal conditions. There were people in China. The legend goes that they were able to hear EWTN radio when it first went on the air almost 30 years ago. So AM radio has tremendous power, but it also has a lot of weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we found, even though that tower sat just south of the Des Moines metro area, that our Des Moines area frequency was still spotty. And so when we made the switch to 105.5, which is a much more reliable signal, we don't have to power that down overnight, so we can maintain the same strength of that signal throughout the day. There's parts of the Ames area that don't get Iowa Catholic Radio clearly, particularly as you get to the west side of town and cross over to the over I-35 there towards Nevada. People there who became accustomed to listening to Iowa Catholic Radio can no longer hear it. Well, that's because 105.5, when we purchased it, had a directional signal that forced it to pull back to the northeast of the metro. That was, through FCC guidelines and regulations and what have you. But before we made that purchase, we explored the opportunity to strengthen that signal to the northeast with what is called an omnidirectional antenna. And so we were up there talking to those folks about that potential upgrade, and we were received very warmly and very enthusiastically. We heard great testimonials from people up there who, since they can't tune in on the radio, still use the Iowa Catholic Radio app to listen. But they recognize how important Catholic radio can be to not only a community, but to the church. As we've seen in the news, these folks who came into the church at Easter, the great numbers that we were hearing about. And while those are wildly positive, there's still a lot of people out there who are either leaving the Catholic Church or rejecting faith altogether. And so this is an exciting opportunity, and we presented to them what it would take to upgrade the signal and so kind of give them an update on what is still needed to be done there. And that's what I shared with the folks. And again, we're really excited that hopefully within the year we can strengthen that signal to serve even more people in the Ames area with 105.5.
Well, not to be too nerdy about this, but it's easy to think of things, all of the mediums of communication that we use, like the digital, for instance, they can seem very ephemeral. Radio seems like a magical thing that just floats through the airwaves, but it actually has this big physical outlay, right? It really is a case, like an incarnation, right? There's sort of a body and soul to radio, and we have to be willing, of course, to take care of the material things. We need new mics sometimes. We need this, we need that. But for the signal, right, it's sometimes very important to realize, because we can forget, we have to be very conscious about how is it that we put the physical and material realities on the ground that allow this signal to get to the people that then we, of course, dearly hope make the spiritual change in their life when they get a chance to encounter Christ through Iowa Catholic Radio.
Well, we had a listener survey that we just wrapped up a few weeks ago, and some of the comments we got from that survey is how Iowa Catholic Radio strengthened their faith, brought them back to the church. They encountered it, sort of accidentally. In fact, that was the exact words I remember from one of the quotes, is they found Iowa Catholic Radio accidentally, and it was instrumental in leading them back to the church. And so radio is still the most accessible form of medium, and it's not necessarily subject to algorithms that you'll experience when you're using social media. I know that's a place that a lot of people are getting their information, and has been one of the things cited for the reversions or the conversions to the Catholic faith. But I would say my sort of, we'll say, investigative reporting is I started looking at the places, the dioceses that saw the largest increases. Those places all have a significant Catholic radio footprint. And so I think it's not an either or proposition. It's sort of a both and. And many of those who have become popular on social media, teaching, defending, and evangelizing the Catholic faith, have also, found success or popularity in the radio world as well. So it's a both and opportunity for people to encounter the truth, beauty, and goodness of our Catholic faith. And so, we want to continue to provide opportunities for people to have those accidental encounters, if you will. The majority of people still listen in their cars, many listen at home, some at work, some while they're out for a walk or doing some other sort of physical activity. And it can be a very personal encounter where people feel a connection. And so when we talk about our mission to connect people to Christ and His church on their faith journey, that it really speaks to the heart of our mission. There's this personal encounter that people can have with radio to hear something either presented in a way they hadn't thought of before, or to shed new light on maybe a preconceived or a deeply seated held belief. And to have that challenged in such a way that it doesn't become argumentative. It just causes a person to become reflective and explore the reality of what God has revealed to us. And so we're excited about this opportunity, and we're going to be probably adding to our website all the opportunities that we have to expand Catholic radio, so people can get a closer look. And if they feel called to support one of these particular projects, like the project in Ames, I was able to share with the 20 or so folks that were at this in-home gathering on Sunday that we're about $82,000 away from making the upgrade of 105.5 a reality. And we were able to kind of paint that in the picture of if you can find, if each one of you found one other person, that's 40 people. And if everybody put up $2,000, this could get done, within 6 months. And that would be about the timeline for the project once we have the funding. We have opportunities down in Southwest Iowa. We've been talking about the Creston Tower, and we have the land secured. We have everything from an FCC and environmental regulatory approvals. All of that's done. The only final piece of building a tower that would essentially cover the entire southwest corner of the state with Catholic radio. It's the financial piece of that. we've had some very generous donors step up and provide money for that. So we're not quite half the way there to the $1.2 million price tag to build out that tower and have its operational costs covered for a couple of years while we generate further support from that area. And then there's other opportunities throughout the state where, again, it really takes maybe one or two major donors to step forward and say, yes, I want to see this happen and make it a reality. And we see this in all types of projects. Dowling's big expansion, Mercy College's big expansion. It takes that first person that has the capacity to give a large gift that sort of gets the ball rolling and becomes making a potential or an opportunity a reality and make it so. Again, more people, more souls can encounter the truth of the Catholic faith.
Well, wonderful things brewing, potential and hope and things that we look forward to. And as you said, if that's someone who's listening right now and moving their heart prayerfully to think about that, of course, calling 515-223-1150 or emailing us or getting in touch with us to talk more about that. I think, before we let you go, of course, some of the new stuff that's happening in and around here at the studio, if they do call about that sort of stuff, they might have someone new that they're going to talk to. So who's that?
Yeah, we'll have Mike Herding. Mike Herding is I would say a friend of mine. We met at a network event like 4 years ago, maybe a little over. And when our sales and underwriting position came open, somebody shared the job posting with him. He was, we'll say, kind of semi-retired and reached out, and through conversations, we brought him on. He's just, I can't imagine, and he's just hit the ground running. We've got a golf outing coming up, which people have heard about on June 11th, and we still have sponsorship opportunities and foursomes available for that event. So you can go to iowacatholicradio.com and sign up for that. But Mike is just, he's the guy we've been looking for, and sort of fell in our lap, and it's a match made in heaven, so to speak. He'll be probably jumping on the morning show to kind of tell a little bit more about himself, and as we get him up to speed on some of the nuances of underwriting versus radio advertising. But one of the things we're able to begin rolling out now, since we have our website and our social media all in-house now with Alexia and Aiden, we'll be able to offer some more digital offerings for marketing for businesses and organizations who want to partner with Iowa Catholic Radio. So a lot of exciting things taking place, and all of it might be geared towards the funding portion of it. But as we say, with no money, there is no mission. And we want to just continue to grow this mission because, again, from our listener survey, we got another glimpse of the impact that all of us can have united under this umbrella of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Absolutely wonderful. And, the good problem to have is that we have so much things that are happening, so much growth going on, and so many new frontiers that people are very interested to have us on the airwaves and to be involved. And so that does take, of course, resources. But friends, for over 20 years, you have been exactly the people through your prayers, through your donations, and through your volunteer hours that have made this possible. So again, 515-223-1150 to call or text to get in touch with someone, contact at iowacatholicradio.com. We'd love to be able to talk to you. And all this hopeful stuff is because you guys have come to the bat multiple times. So thank you for sharing in our hope as well. Well, Deacon, before we let you go, any last words before we hit the break?
No, I'm just tremendously grateful. And again, excited what each and every day provides as an opportunity to teach, defend, and evangelize here at Iowa Catholic Radio.
Well, he is the executive director of Iowa Catholic Radio. We know him as Deacon Mark Campbell. You probably should know him as that too. Deacon, thanks for coming on the Catholic Morning Show.
Bill.
Listen to the Catholic Morning Show weekdays at 7 a.m. Central on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, iowacatholicradio.com, or the Iowa Catholic Radio app.